Dave, as a offensive coordinator, to have a quarterback like Connor that almost like playing a PlayStation game, for you it's got to make turning him loose such an easy thing. What is it like as a coordinator to have a guy that you know is Mr. Reliable like Connor is?
I mean, obviously Connor's done great things for us throughout the years. What it does for us, obviously, it gives us a chance for big plays all the time. I mean, and on a day like today, when we were not running the ball, obviously, as well as we'd like to, we're able to sort of ask him to put the team on his shoulders and carry us. And he did that really through 3 quarters. And he had some help at the wide receiver position, but Connor's been money. He's played good for years around here, but the last 2 weeks, I think he's been phenomenal.
Connor, never mind just the numbers over here, right in front of you. Have you ever thrown the ball any better than today?
I don't think I have. I certainly haven't thrown as many as I did today, as many passes. But I don't know. I felt like I was on the money. I felt like the ball's come out of my hand. I think ever since the Rutgers game, I felt like I was just throwing the ball differently. I don't know what it was. It just feels like the ball is coming out better. The release, the spiral, everything. So just got to continue what I'm doing. And I think. I think sky's the limit for our football team. I think you saw what we can do through the air. Obviously, we need to improve on the run game. But, I mean, if you look at the last 2 drives, that's how we got 132 yards on the ground. But, I don't know. I just felt like I was in the zone.
Connor, can you talk a little bit about the emergence of these past 2 weeks of R.J. Shelton and what you see from him that he's reaching this level now?
Yeah, I think – just going back to Rutgers when he had that one play on 3rd and long that, got us in field goal range and we went down and ended up scoring on the last drive. I think that was just a huge confidence booster. So ever since he made that play, making the toe dragging catch against Michigan, and he's doing stuff that he usually doesn't do, not even in games but even in practice. So, we know how talented the guys we have here. Like I said, even before the season, I said this can be like 2013. You guys were always asking me about Burb this, Burb that. I'm like, there's no reason why, Burb can have, 2 touchdowns, in one game, and all of a sudden it's R.J. Shelton, or all of a sudden it's McGarrett Kings. It just depends on, when the guy wants to come out and make certain plays. So, there's no denying that we knew or that we know how the kind of plays that R.J. can make. It was just a matter of time.
Connor, as Coach Warner just said, that the running game was struggling and he kind of turned it over to you. What's your mindset when the offensive coordinator hands you the keys to the car and say, go, we need you to win this game for us?
Go out and make plays. Don't focus on anything other than, visualizing yourself making plays. Just take it one step at a time, one play at a time. As Coach Salem always says to me, no matter what the situation is in the game, one play at a time. You don't want to look past on a play like Josiah Price. I missed him wide open in the end zone. The timing was kind of messed up, but if I had my feet set, I can get in the ball. But then after that, we dial up another play to R.J. Shelton, throw a touchdown. So you really can't focus on the negatives, can't focus on past things. Just focus on the present and, just trust yourself.
I just wanted to ask you about the rib shot. Did that affect you at all? It didn't look like it did, but were you concerned at the time, and was there any effect after that?
Yeah, he just got me. I think it was the initial hit hurt, and then when he drove me into the ground, hurt even worse. Knocked the wind out of me, and then the ribs were a little sore. So it didn't affect me, later on in the game. Just was a little sore here and there, but other than that, I'm good.
Mike, obviously, if you look past just the points and look at the game and the situation, your defense is playing really well right now. As a coach, what are you most happy with?
I'm most happy that our offense had the ball for 96 plays and 39 minutes. That's how you beat a team like Indiana, so thank you guys for that. But in reality, what we're most happy with the defense is we have a lot of young guys that are stepping up, and the other players are confident in them. We know we have some veterans in the D-line in particular, some at the linebackers, but the players in the secondary, they're young, and we know they're players, but it's them having confidence and then the other guys having confidence around them, and that confidence grows, and we play better and better, and you can see that in the second half.
I want to ask you a little bit about the secondary also, sorry. I think about maybe 5 different safeties playing, I guess. How difficult is it when you have that many guys, but not only that, but young guys that you're counting on the back end back there?
Well, this was a game we were planning on playing a lot of safeties, a lot of corners, a lot of people, period, just because of the tempo. So we were fortunate that this was a week that we practiced rolling all those guys in there. But there's no doubt every time you turned around there were different players on the field. And then you get an idea of who's hot and who's confident and who's recognizing formations when the plays are going as fast as they are. But we can walk out of this game feeling like, okay, Yeah, we're a little bit banged up in the secondary, but we still have 8+ guys that can play.
Connor, it's not selfish, not when you consider Michigan State football history, to think about where a quarterback might reside in that history, where he might take a particular standing or status compared with preceding quarterbacks through the generations. Have you ever given that any thought?
I mean, here and there, it just kind of crosses your mind. Obviously, there's been great QBs that have played here, Kirk Cousins, guys that are currently in the NFL, Drew Stanton, Brian Hoyer, and you look back, to Jeff Smoker and Tony Banks, those guys, and you look at your record, and I've only lost 3 games, knock on wood, and the things that I've been able to accomplish while playing here, I would have never even imagined. If you would have told me coming out of high school, if you would have told me my true freshman year, my redshirt freshman year, I would have looked at you and said you're crazy. So I'm so blessed and so fortunate to have played on such great teams. Going back to 2013, the Rose Bowl team. Having the number 1 defense on my team there. Allowing me to accomplish things that I wouldn't have been able to accomplish without them. And then the 2014 team having guys like Jay Lang and Tony Lippett, having just such a potent offense and a good defense as well, allowing us to accomplish, so many great things. But it's a whole team effort. It's not just me. Guys like Burb, make me look a lot better than I am. Guys like Kings, those are hard catches. Those are hard contested catches that they're making. RJ Shelton. It's not like I'm hitting a whole lot of wide open guys. So I'm putting the ball, I think, where it needs to be, but then they're coming down with it. So it's a whole team game, whole team effort, and credit goes to them.
I just wanted to ask you where you think this team is right now. You get a break now, get some guys healthy, maybe a little healthier up front. Coming off the emotion of last week now, sitting at 8-0, do you feel like there is some building momentum overall with this team?
Most definitely. I think we're right where we need to be. Going into a bye, guys are going to get healthy, guys are going to get back. But just to finish the way we did, we haven't scored 40 points in a game yet this year, and we scored 52. Was it 52? 52. So being able to finish the way we did, pound it in the end and be able to run for those many yards and to execute the way we did in the past game. And then for the way our defense to play and hold Indiana to 26 points, they're obviously more than capable of putting up 40 to 50 points a game against any defense in the country. So for our defense to play the way they did against a great offense, against a great quarterback in Nate Sudfeld, it's awesome. So just to answer your question, I think we're right where we need to be, offensively and defensively, and obviously, we're getting better on special teams, but still need to improve in that area.
Connor, I don't know if you realize it or not, but I believe you were 3 yards away from setting a MSU passing record for a game. Did you know that? And if you did, are those types of individual awards important to you?
Yeah, Tommy Vento told me on the sideline, and I was heated. I was so mad. I wanted to get that record so bad. I was begging. I was like, can we just go in for one, hitch route or something? I'm joking. I didn't say that. But no, I don't care. As long as we win, I could throw for 15 yards and we win, and I'd be happy. Just want to win.
Mike, could you address a little bit? Connor just touched on Nate Sudfeld. Indiana, one of the most up-tempo offenses your defense faced this year. You got freshmen out in that secondary, but they're out there making plays. Talk about what it's like just having these young guys go up against such a high-power offense and come out with this result.
Yeah, Nate Sudfeld is very, very good. He can make all the throws. What you see on film is he knows where he's going with that ball very quickly. And I think we went out there in the first half and we're probably a little bit tentative. Everybody just trying to do their job as opposed to selling out and being reckless. And then the second half, especially up front, the defensive line cut it loose a little bit more. But the confidence was gained in the secondary. They recognized the fact that, this might be the fastest or one of the fastest offenses in America. But you know what? It's not so bad. We can handle this, and especially with young kids. Once you start to believe, you can do amazing things.
Connor, you said you were in the zone. Can you kind of, for a layman, describe the zone, what that feels like, and how much involves those 3 guys too you're with, and the looks you have between the conversation and all that? Yeah,
it's just a very, very intense feeling of focus. That's all I can really describe it as. You just feel like every throw is on the money, every read is correct, is right, and you're just throwing the ball with conviction. Really, the only way I can describe it is just a very, very intense feeling of focus.
Dave, I think you guys were up by about 5 points with about 4 minutes to go when you hit R.J. Shelton on that from the slot, the corner. Mm-hmm. The play call, what were you trying to set up? What were you thinking there, and how did Connor execute that? Take me through that play, first of all, and then secondly, what did you see the problem was in the first 3 quarters or so with the ground game getting that established?
I believe the pass play was the same one we scored on in the first half, wasn't it?
Yeah, the touchdown that RJ scored was the same one, or same play both times.
Yeah, both first half and second half. So that play was just, it's a go-to play for us. We vary it and camouflage it a little bit, but it's a little bit of a go-to play for us when you get down in the red zone and have to throw the football. We always talk about who your go-to guys are, and we're fortunate enough to have a handful of go-to receivers along with a go-to tight end. So it's just sort of a staple of our offense down there. So it was right there in front of me. I knew exactly what we're going to go with in that situation. And referring to the run game, frustrating. Not to be able to run the ball better early on, but they certainly had a game plan to pack the box, more so than probably as much as anybody's done this year on us. So we made a decision real quick to throw it around a little bit and try and get outside in the run game. We had some big plays, on the perimeter in the run game throughout the course of the game. Not so much early on, but we had some success early as the game went on. So we just got to get our guys healthy and get everybody back, and I think that'll help the run game too.
Connor, back here. This week, everyone in the media, at least the narrative was, not having a letdown from the game. What was it like the latter part of practice this week, making sure that you guys came out here and did what you needed to do to get the win?
I think it was just us calling the guys up after practice and just making sure everyone was focused and had their minds right. Letting them know, it's got to come down to us scoring, 35-plus points. Indiana has a very potent offense and have the ability to put up a lot of points. So me as a leader in offense, I was talking to the guys saying, hey, this is going to be on us. We got to go out. We got to score points. We got to establish the run game early. We got to execute in the pass game when the opportunities present themselves. But then also to know that, Indiana's a great opponent, to not, be too high, for Michigan and not, let that game kind of get to you and make you feel complacent or make you feel comfortable. So the main thing this week in practice was to not feel comfortable and to just not be complacent and never be satisfied and just want more and be greedy.
Dave, going back to the running game, who is your number one running back right now? Who would you say is your number one running back? And how do you plan on using that bye week? Is it an open competition for that job, or how will you think you'll use it?
Well, first we'll see how Madre progresses with his situation, and we certainly hope that he's back and we can throw him in the mix. I'm not sure we have a true number one running back right now. Obviously, Gerald started today. You got to look at the film because it's hard for me from the press box to see holes, and there's a lot of times I'm up there saying he should have taken this cut or that cut, and then I look at film the next day and I'm dead wrong. So I really need to look at the film to evaluate that, who our best guys are. But I think overall we need to be aggressive and put our foot in the ground and get north and south in the run game. But again, not knowing how things look from the back end, I'm not sure how many creases we had. And that's us as an offense trying to create creases for the running back. He's got to have some opportunities there. So we'll see. We'll take it. I'll take this week or the next 2 weeks to try and evaluate it, but obviously we have to improve. Have to get better.
Coach Tressel, can you just talk a little bit about Grayson and his progress? And he always kind of seems to be that guy around the ball or in the right spot. And just talk about what you've seen from him as he's progressed into his role.
Well, the things we love about him from the beginning is he loves the game of football, and he's a true Spartan, as we know, based on his background. But what we learned pretty quickly that you never know until he gets here is that he's very, very reliable. And he's a guy that, with a bunch of young guys in the secondary, when you're rolling people and it gets into more of a critical situation, you feel very comfortable putting him in there because no stage is too big for him. And he's long and he's fast and he has ball skills, so he has all the tools. But mainly the fact that there's that level of trust and he lives and dies with how we do, we feel real good about having him on the field at any time.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Okay.